authentic, God-given diversity in the church and false teaching. John of Patmos says anything that touches on idolatry stands on the side of false teaching. That's not authentic, God-given diversity in the church. For Paul, very same question. All food is given by God and to be received with thanks. And if you are a person of knowledge, that is, if you think like Paul, my mother calls those people right-thinking individuals, the people who agree with us. If you're a person of knowledge, he says, you must restrain your freedom for the sake of the brother or sister for whom Christ died. That is even more absolute in some ways than John's condemnation of people who eat food offered to idols. For my money, and I confessed to you last evening that as somebody who reads Paul's letters more than any other part of the New Testament, he informs the way I think about these things. And I think I'm going to hazard a guess that the standard for deciding what is authentic, God-given diversity in the church and what is false teaching, the standard always has to be the crucified Christ. Never a human standard of orthodoxy. Now, you probably recognize that as a wiggling answer. I like to have a little wiggle room since knowing what is fundamentally rooted in the cross of Jesus Christ, as opposed to being a human standard of orthodoxy, is not always easy to judge. And I don't want to pretend that it is. But if this issue, which we have trouble getting our imaginations around, I mean, they don't have at Kroger, at least not at my Kroger, food offered to idols and food not offered to idols. It's just plain meat, you know? So I don't have a lot of opportunity to think about this, but I do have a very powerful culture that I live in, and that I have to negotiate very much the way first century Christians had to think about how they lived in the Roman Empire. And I'm inclined at this point more toward Paul's answer than I am toward John's, but I want, again, to listen to where John comes from. And his anxiety about how dangerous idolatry is to the church is something that I want to keep listening to. It certainly informs the way he tells his story.